everybody.
Hello. It is I.
And I,
It's Avital,
Jason.
my husband and game master. Da 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 da. We are getting back to Rasha Sharav and her story in the world of Naboria. What up, Asher? So last time, at the very end of our story hour, Rasha and the group of people that she was with, which was a lot of people, teleported out of a city in a hurry because Treskin was being chased.
Yeah.
Sort of. Not exactly. I mean, after this point, he's like going to be worse chased, but
He's being hunted.
he's being hunted because
Taken back to Erewhon.
he did something
to stand
kind of
trial.
dumb. Yeah. Anyways, they all teleported to Undermountain because Rasha and Anton and who else was with? Were with Tirlon, who is the
Argoth.
reborn dragon of time, like firstborn dragon. Like he died and now he's back again. And he's going on a quest. They're helping him out and accompanying him. That's a difficult word. On a quest to go and visit all the other firstborn dragons, so that Tirlon can get his memories back, hopefully, and in that regain his power. Treskin is gonna help Durkin Thrustrian liberate the Drow from their matriarchal overlords. The first city that they are going to be going for is Lycan, which is underneath the dwarven city of Eredor in Undermountain. So, and Babaga, one of the firstborn dragons, is also there, so that's where we went. We were chilling in another city, and some people looking for Treskin showed up, and we had to get out of there in a hurry. So, you know. Where's, okay. So you can see here, Eredor is in the mountains, and, with the fact that it is, black means that it is an underground city. And then there's Lycan. Mordeluk is another dwarven city that's below Eredor, and then Lycan is even farther below. And that's where Treskin was headed. However, they get to Undermountain. Da-da-da-da. Halls of the Dwarven Lords.
Yep.
And they're in Eredor, essentially. So they get there, and they want to see Babaga, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they cannot. They can only see her every couple of days.
Some of them. I think Ragnar came with you. I do believe so. I know he went back last time, didn't he? Because he's mad. That's right.
I don't. He's with us at some point, but not at this point.
Yeah.
Alexander's also not with us at this point.
Nope.
Alexander, at this point, has already talked to Babaga and become her champion, and is on a quest for her. That is what he's doing right now. Oh, I forgot Galaglir is with us right now. Galaglir is King Redding's
Cohort.
That's the word. Cohort.
Court bard. A bard druid.
Is he half elf?
He's actually from House Dolores. He's a grey elf.
Is he half or full?
He's a grey elf.
Full?
That is what a grey elf. Yes, he's an elf. Grey elf. I would say half elf. It was half elf.
I don't know things, okay? But yeah, Babaga keeps the forges running for the dwarves of Eredor, So, actually, last time we were here, we helped work out an agreement between the two of them.
Mm-hmm. I believe that some of you went into the Dwarven City because
Well,
I don't think everybody stopped to see Babaga this time, did they?
well, it's because we couldn't like immediately see Babaga.
Yeah, because right, you saw her little kobold guy who like mans the doorway,
Yeah.
and she will not see you right now. That type of thing.
Right.
Because she's busy building things for druids, and to save the world from the Illithid. She's building these signs, these stones with these runes on them that are ancient, that druids know how.
Did you call them sigils?
Yes.
Sigils.
And Duwadna had come here previously with Alexander.
Duwadna's like the top.
He's the archdruid of Nabiez at the hidden forest.
Mm-hmm.
And so Babaga's a druid as well. And they came here as like a, hey, druid on druid, let's talk about this. This is something we can do. And she was like, sounds good. This is something I can actually do. So they had to wait a couple of days before she was able to be seen in between her creations. And I believe you guys went in to see like the Dwarf Lord and
Yeah, of course. We
hung
went
out.
and talked to the king and to let him know we were there, and he gave us places to stay, obviously, because we had helped him out so much. At least some of us had helped him out so much in the past. You know,
Mhm.
we were
Like-
all chill. Triskin was.
hey buddy, and they're all like, hi, not quite drow with other people who are drow. We're sort of okay with you.
Like, there's a lot of dry hair.
When he does talk with the king and like be like, hey, I plan on going down to Lycan and like solving that problem. He's like, oh, you're gonna kill them all. He's like, not like that.
Everybody always just. Triskin's like, no.
But like Eramar and Pel are here also,
They were
And-
also drow.
right?
A lot of drow in the dwarf city.
It was Eramar's sister who actually used to rule Lycan before the craziness happened when Erwin the 22nd. Right. So he's like a male of the ruling house, which is like, I'm going back there because he could get lands and titles and become something more than just a male drow, right?
I mean, he's more in the surface world, but
yeah.
he does lots of cool things up there. But
Pella's actually his niece. None of you actually ever figured that out and really knew that in character, but Pella's... I don't even know that he actually figured it out until...
Did she know? She didn't know.
She didn't know.
Why would she know? Yeah.
Right,
Makes
but-
sense.
Pella's actually his niece.
Yeah, what's her name? Her full name?
Pelabandris Rosacea.
That's right. It's a lot. Yeah. I get why we shorten it to Pel.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and she was the former matriarch's child.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense, because
Uh-huh.
niece. That's how nieces work.
Right?
If that was Aramar's sister.
And Eramar's sister wasn't terrible, right? Like, she wasn't all about the drow matriarchy. She just like, alright, if we'll go here. House Rosacea isn't also typically like your beat up the male, do terrible things house. They're sort of like, so we're all drow. And we just have to operate in the society this way, so let's put on the pretense, but, behind closed doors, there's... equality is the wrong word, right? But there's equity for more of the males, and House Rosacea usually sees more males. That and House Thustrian as well. House Thustrian is actively, usually, mostly ran by the males in complete and utter secret because they are conniving assassins. And though many of the priestess of Thustrian who are like Loth priestesses, they only get so powerful before there's another one that has to replace them.
Okay. Yeah.
Next.
Drow.
Right.
Anyways, Rasha doesn't ever experience any of that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting stuff that's happening in the world. So after, I guess, a couple days, they go and see Babaga. Rasha goes, Treskin goes, Rasha, Treskin, Argoth, of course Tirlon, that's his sister.
Yep.
Um,
Anton, Through Stream,
Anton.
Hell, Aramar, Galadglir.
they all go
Yeah.
to see her?
Yeah.
Even
Well, because most...
Esteban, Through Stream?
Yeah, he goes. He's... No, well...
Did he?
Yeah, because he wouldn't have left you guys' side.
That's
In
true.
the Dwarven Kingdom?
No, he was not going to
He
leave
wouldn't have left
Treskin.
Treskin's side here.
Nope. No. That's true.
So he would have gone with you guys. He probably just didn't say much.
But
Gave
yeah.
a tribute, and that's about it.
So when you go to see Babaga, if you want her to talk to you at all, you have to give her something. And as she is a rust dragon, she eats metal. So, Treskin had something.
All
He
kinds of
always has
metals,
something.
yeah.
Right? Other people scrounge out some stuff. Rasha. This is when this happened. This
Yep.
is so great.
Yes, it is.
So, the last time Rasha came to Undermountain and went down to Lycan, and they defeated that demon with 6 arms.
Merilith. A Merilith. A very powerful Merilith.
Yes. Ragnar defeated her at,
I mean, they
called on-
she nearly killed him, too.
It
was a really close battle.
What's his name?
Odin.
And not just,
Odin.
she usually, if we had killed the demon, just, she would eventually come back. No, this is Odin, took her and dragged her away.
Yeah.
She's gone forever, this particular demoness.
Yeah.
Gone. Anyways, so since Treskin had to be taken back up to his airship, there were 6 of us, and in each of her 6 arms, she held a plus how much? Plus
5.
Plus
Vorpal
5
sword.
Vorpal
adamantine
longsword.
longsword, actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was set to wreck you guys.
Oh yeah. And then, what was that the first round?
Yeah.
The first round.
She rolled a bunch of 19s on Ragnar and did not kill him, and with his Vorpal sword, he rolled a 20 and killed her. So that
and spent destiny points.
Yeah. So it's
He
it was impressive.
He probably would have killed her with the Vorpal sword. He would have killed her with the Vorpal sword. Maybe
it would have sent her back to where she came from.
Right. No, I know.
Yeah,
so the battle would have been
defeated her.
done.
Yeah.
But he spent the destiny points
to
to
destroy
do something
her.
super cool and entirely destroy her.
And it was a tense round. It was a tense
really,
single round of combat.
It really was. But so Rasha had been holding on to this plus 5 adamantine Vorpal longsword for months.
Yeah.
Many months now.
Maybe almost a year at this point. Not quite.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe. It had been in her, I guess in her bag of holding, presumably.
Yeah.
Because those things are really
handy.
Because what is she going to do with it? She doesn't use a longsword.
Sell it for a lot of money, but
she doesn't care about. She doesn't think about. She doesn't think about money really. She doesn't care. Right. So she just
this becomes
held
very apparent.
onto it. And last time she was here, she didn't have anything to give to Babaga, and Alexander had to help out.
Yeah.
And Alexander wasn't there. And Rasha kind of okay, what do I do at this point? So she pulls out the plus 5 adamantine Vorpal longsword and gives it to the firstborn Rust Dragon.
And everyone's like, what?
Everyone's like, whoa.
What are you doing? And Babaga's like, oh, this is a fine piece. And chews on it and picks her teeth. And it doesn't go down. It's like, you are welcome anytime.
And Rasha's like
because giving something like that over, that's like a character giving over, something that could purchase them every item they would ever want other than that one thing.
But Rasha's set
it's an entire treasure
already at this point.
So Babaga's
she
like,
didn't
you
care.
gave me an entire treasure. You are always welcome here.
It just really illustrates what Rasha's frame of mind was. It never was getting wealthy. She had so much money. Because people were like, oh, you should have money. You're gonna need stuff, and gave her money.
Because adventuring.
Her friends, and she was just like, I mean, what do I need this for? I don't have a house to keep up. I mean, she could have had a house if she wanted, but she didn't. She didn't really care. Desert wind, and it's all over the place. So, anyways, Rasha was cool with Babaga.
So after introductions and the giving of gifts, the party Argoth through Tirlon approaches Babaga to try to persuade her to aid in the coming invasion, which at this point they know about the Illithid, and they're just trying to take time to garner allies to protect the world. And she tells them the plight of the surface is nothing to those of the deep. She didn't care.
It's funny though because she is actually currently helping with that.
Right.
In making the sigils, that is helping in the fight against the Illithid.
But she's like, I'm not leaving this place.
Yeah.
She does, however, offer her champion Alexander, which this is where they truly find out
that he is her champion.
Right.
They're like, oh.
It's like, if you can find him, and he accepts.
And it's funny because he just kind of shows up on his own later. but yeah, so they had to do this over a couple days. Yeah. Like a couple days in between visits.
Just because she is creating those stones.
And then they find out that Tirlon, he asked her aid in returning to the Dragon Isles to end the Civil War. That had been happening for a while, hadn't it? A bit?
Yeah.
Like,
kind of since his return and...
Yeah, that's like a long time. How long has he been back?
Months.
Months. But yeah.
And he was like, that will also aid the invasion. And the two of them talk for some time, right?
They talk about dragon things.
Yeah. While these guys go back into Herodor and
hang
out with dwarves, and through part of this,
some of the dwarves try and challenge Rasha to another drinking contest.
Yes.
She's like, no, I'm fine. And Tristan's like, what?
Right.
And she's like, I'll tell you later. And then when they're back in their room alone at night, she tells him about how Alexander gave her the Iron Stone. That's against poison, which is what alcohol is. So this like small little, I mean, still taller than a dwarf, but small little yet human female beat these rough and tumble dwarves in a drinking contest. It's pretty funny. Or it was a ring. I don't remember. But
it was an Ewan stone.
Okay.
So on like the fifth day, they return once again to speak with Baba, and this is where Tirlon attempts. He makes it known to her that he seeks to destroy the Treaty of Fire, and reforge a new pact between the dragons and the world. So the Treaty of Fire is something that was created at not the end, but in the First Age, that Bastion Milovich, really Cyril Milovich who traveled through time, his own ancestor, helped to create when the firstborn dragons were squabbling over territories and growing into themselves, and finding that one little island was too small for them. So they created the Treaty of Fire to spread out to all the lands and claim different territories so that they can then protect, own, whatever, and that's how and why certain dragons are in certain places now.
Right, like why Babaga is where she is under the mountain.
Why Laufrey is where he is in Catalima. Why Tirlon initially was still in the Dragon Isles. And the other dragons that they will eventually meet. Why they are where they are. That is what the Treaty of Fire did. And he wants to destroy that. But create something new.
A new pact between dragons and the world.
Right. Because he realizes there are some inadequacies in that original treaty. Though not every dragon agrees with him. And Babaga could literally care less.
She's like,
I'm down here with the dwarves. We're cool.
Doesn't she? Later, though, she does. Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, actually, maybe she does. No, she does now, actually. She's like...
Yeah.
No, she comes out later, but I think now she's not like, I don't care. I was wrong about that. Now she's like, okay, let's reforge the treaty, but I'm not leaving here. So she agreed to the treaty, but she did not agree to...
Cyril is so cool. I wonder who that is.
Yeah, he is. But she did not agree to come aid directly. So it's kind of half and half. In the end, though, Tirlon does get the memories. He gets a scale from her,
He does get a skill from
And
Babaga.
he gains the memories from Nabaga and begins his period of whatever ritual he's performing to go through to attempt to gain back his lost power, to age himself to his proper age and his proper power, to return as the leader of the First Flight, which is the entire major point of this whole quest. And on the 6th day, after meeting with Babaga, the meeting is ended. They've gotten what they can from her. They've discussed things. She knows what's going on. They know what's going on. And at this, the party splits.
So, Treskin and the other drow,
Three-Stream, Pell, and Aramar.
Obviously they've talked to the Dwarven King, told him what they're doing, so they have passage to go safely through Mortalook.
Down to Lycan. And they begin their own quest. What Treskin initially set out to do.
Rasha, says her goodbyes to Treskin.
And they don't really know if they'll see each other again.
Yeah, it's...
Because he thinks he's at least safe underground.
Yes, he thinks he's safe underground. And it's a rough thing, because it's not been very long. It's been a couple weeks maybe, since Rasha like even fully realized how she felt about Treskin. And now, who knows when she'll see him again. He's a fugitive by, like, the majority of the world. He's hunted by, like... And when I say majority is... only has to be 51%.
The Arrow Brethren, the Arrow and Shadows, which are his brother's spy organization, thief spy organization. The Tal'Rai Scoff, because of shenanigans with the Royal Flush Gang. Yeah, they don't like them either. The Cult of the Serpent.
They also don't like me, right?
Yeah, they don't like you either. The Cult of the Serpent.
Not that I ever really am impacted by that, but...
Yeah. You're lucky. You kind of skirt around it most of the time. Very lucky.
Good thing I'm light on my feet.
The Cult of the Serpent, because of Royal Flush Gang shenanigans. The Hashin, because of Royal Flush Gang shenanigans. The Web, mostly because of the surface things that he's done. That's Laufey's spy network.
Yep.
The Wizards Guild, because wizards died. In the last thing. Various factions in Surtur. Basically, all of Surtur is hunting him down. All the goblinoid creatures. And the Agalon Junto, which is like the Drow Bugbear Bounty Hunter Assassins Guild. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in trouble.
But those people are pretty much above ground people.
Most of
them.
You're
about to close it, so don't.
Most of them.
Why are you closing it?
Because this is the one we need.
Right.
So after that, you guys part ways.
So they head off, and then as the group that is with Tyrlon, they're kind of discussing their next moves. He's not there. Jenia's not there in this.
Right.
As they're kind of discussing their next move, Argoth is a powerful wizard, and he has made us...
Now that means Ragnar was with you guys if he's here. He came
when?
back
When?
Because Rob showed up. It's like
us?
the whole thing of like, hey, I can make it this time. We've got to figure out how to work the character and to get them there. Like, he could have been there.
I'm trying to think of when he would have showed back up.
Probably sometime in
At the Gold Dragon thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Instead of leaving, he left like right after. Oh, that's right. He left right after.
He left right after we got them out of the slaves.
He did show up in the Gold Dragon thing because Tyrlon wanted to get Ragnar there specifically. Yeah, so Ragnar was totally along for this because he also knows the Dwarven King.
We forgot you. It's been a while.
It has. So I'll go back down to this.
Yeah. So as they were discussing their next move, where they're going to go next, Argoth has a lot of simulacra, which are like copies of him that don't have quite all his powers, but are still powerful, and he can keep in contact with him, and that helps him to keep track of, different things. He's got all sorts of things going on.
Powerful illusions that are solid.
Yeah.
And since they're just an illusion, they can be dispelled.
Yeah, so Argoth loses contact with one of his simulacra. That is in the Trade Kingdoms.
Near Velt.
It
right after some crazy shit happened there.
Before he lost contact with it, though, it told him about some things that were happening.
Yes, as in
It's.
Let me go back up slightly. Yes, as in the firstborn dragon Grendel, the fire of him. He woke up in the Trade Kingdoms as Velt was being recreated by the newly
What city is this?
Velt.
Is that the G?
Velt. Velt. From the newly awoken King Cyrus Gavail, who was an imprisoned immortal that earlier some people, other party members, brought back and tried to get a sword from, and he is not a good person, but he is a lawful knight, and so...
Yeah. Lawful evil?
Yeah. So he's returned as the king. So an ancient king is returned to unite the Trade Kingdoms, and that's when they're all kind of in the whole, is this going to happen, isn't it going to happen, can we trust this guy, can't we, and different people from different parts of the Trade Kingdoms are here, such as King Rowan of Glemgar, Ardon Merrick of Kandur, or Bryn, and Grendel, who, again, is awoken. There are druids here. They're not happy with the king.
Grendel
they warn
is
him
a dragon.
that mining in the mines will awaken
One of
the ancient worm Grendel.
Firstborn dragons.
And it does. And they have to stop him. They don't put him down. They just subdue him. The professor is always here. Or also here.
Subdue him, exactly.
Well, that's the same thing. Like, use magic to make him not battle you.
Calm him down.
It's the same thing.
Not really, but okay.
Yeah,
It's not, because they don't, like, take control of him or anything.
No, but he's just being subdued. He's no longer attacking them.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. Anyways.
So they talk about that. Tell Argoth this is a simulacra does, and then the simulacra cuts out.
Yeah. But the fact that one of the firstborn dragons that, they thought was sleeping and sort of hidden somewhere has awoken and is out, and then he loses contact with his simulacra. So, in a rush, my group...
Anton, Rasha, Ragnar, the real Argoth, and Galaglir and Tirlon
teleport there to Velt in the Trade Kingdoms. So, they find, like I said, King Gavail, Ardon Merrick, King Rowan, speaking with a calmed Grendel. So, they transport, like, right in front of this dragon.
Who is massive.
Massive dragon. And what I, as Rasha, remember of this encounter is being there, and Tirlon starts talking to Grendel, and then I don't remember how someone noticed this, but someone said, I think Lout is here. Grendel, with his enormous paw, and Tirlon is in his human form right now, which is still kind of like a young adult-looking type of person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, puts his, like, giant paw around Tirlon and kind of, like, pulls him in.
To protect him.
Like, to protect
and
him.
looks around in his dragon
and looks
form.
around. Rasha, who still knows very little, like, immediately turns her back to this enormous dragon and, like, readies herself for battle, like, because she's here with Tirlon, and that is also her goal, to protect him. Nothing happened with Lout, but...
And they didn't see him.
They were all very on edge.
But Argoth was certain it was him because of what happened to his simulacrum and things that have happened before. He and Laufweir don't have necessarily a great relationship. And that started off with Tirlon being reborn and Laufweir trying to get that piece of Tirlon to gain his power. And that was robbed from him, and so he's taking it out on Argoth. Because Argoth thinks he's a powerful wizard.
Which he is, but...
He's not a Master of 10.
He's not Lout,
and he's
who is a
not
Shadow
ancient,
Dragon and a Master of 10
Great Worm
wizard.
Shadow Dragon.
And
with, the ego that Laufey has. She's like, okay, I'm just going to make your every moment that I can. I'm going to cost you money. I'm going to cost you things.
Yeah, because making the simulacra, while it, of course, requires magical power, also requires physical components, which cost money. And, some people care about that.
Yeah. And...
especially when they're making multiple simulacra.
Right. He's like, oh, I found another one. It's not really you. Oh. Dispel. And then I'm going to sit up here invisibly and watch.
Yeah. So, they talked to Grendel. Between everyone that was talking to him, they negotiated for Grendel's aid against the Illithid, and they were allowed to continue mining, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
And they also... Tirlon also did gain his aid in ending the civil war in the Dragon Isles and the Treaty of Fire. But since they knew that Laut was here, they know now for sure that Laut knows Tirlon is out and about in the world, and he knows that these specific particular people are helping him out, at least at this moment.
It was a little fact-finding mission for Laufey, a direct one.
Like, he was actually there, not one of his spies.
He also had an agent or two here.
Uh-huh. Thanks, Professor.
He wasn't the only one.
I know. I mean, I don't know, but I couldn't see the Professor, but the Professor is the PC that was here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But at that point, you guys didn't know he was a spy.
Right.
Let's see what... Oh, the other thing that happens in this is the Trade Kingdoms... basically, Gavail becomes Grendel's rider.
Which, that's a big deal.
Yeah. And they also find out previous to this that in order for Gavail to become king, he had to enter a pact with the... I would just show it on the actual map.
I didn't know what was next. I was just...
He would have to become...
Where are we?
Or he made a pact with the Trade Kingdoms. It's to the left.
Sorry, I'm like, I don't know where that is. Over here. Here.
He had to enter a pact with the elves, of which this pact was magical, and it cost a great and ancient and powerful elf his life to make certain that essentially the Trade Kingdoms and Talaminus could not go to war in the future, and that Gavail would keep his word. Because making a pact with a wizard is powerful, and making one with a wizard that gives their life force to enact it is binding.
I missed something, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's the stuff you don't know.
I literally, Avital, right in this moment, didn't hear it because I was trying to move the map. But that's fine, it doesn't matter. Velt's over there on the left. I can't move the map over anymore because that's the end of the image. But.
Yep. So those are things that have happened here that some of the characters find out about and the reasons why it's going on. And they just kind of pop up in the aftermath of this and talk. And,
in the negotiation portion.
And all of it goes pretty well. Everything seems pretty settled after this for the Trade Kingdoms. At least as settled as these guys are concerned. There are other people here trying to get things more settled, and that's a story for another day. From here, you guys go.
Since we had already, had already somewhat discussed like what the next best course of action would be, and the next dragon that we have a connection to, that someone knows and has met and knows where they are, is Azita Haka. Rasha is there. She's been with Azita Haka, trained with him and everything. He is the dragon of the sky.
Mm-hmm. I didn't describe Grendel.
Yeah, what does Grendel look like?
Grendel has reddish flamed scales with what looks like lava flowing beneath them between his scales, like glowing, which is why he's called the fireworm.
Ooh. I think it'd be really cool to get art of all of them one day.
It's like orangey reddish scales.
That would be so cool.
And down to his belly, it's more like brown. Instead of lighter, it gets darker. And that's how the lava coloration sticks out a little bit, which is like just his skin color. It's kind of between the scales occasionally.
That's so neat. It's so neat. So, after they have finished what is quite honestly, quite a brief interlude in the Trade Kingdoms in Velt, they say, oh, well, we might as well move on to our next place. So they decide they will go to Rumedan, to the Temple of the Sky, to see Azita Haka. As a reminder, the art on these slides is simply art that Jason has found online that was appropriate and fit to the image he had in his mind of these particular places.
Yeah.
Like, if we show you, like...
I won't claim that this is art made for the world. I won't claim anything. This is definitely other people's art for other people's things. I was like, that's cool. I'm going to use this as like a device to show people so they get a good idea of kind of what the thing looks like when I'm describing these places. That's it.
If there is art that we have specifically made, which is mostly just
maps and like
Jason's maps and my character art, then we'll tell you, obviously. The world map, obviously, he made that. It's very cool. So, they tell Anton, who is the one that is...
He's never been to the Temple of the Sky.
I know. Who is the one that is... I was about to get there, I'm sorry. Who is the one that is, teleporting them. Are you okay?
I thought I heard something.
Sorry, I talk slowly because my brain is going too fast. He's not been to the Temple of the Sky, but Rasha has been there and can very easily describe it to him in detail, and that's all he needs for greater teleport. And what she describes is this particular place that is in the background of this slide, which is kind of the entry point before you get into where Azita Haka actually lives, because she would never have anyone teleport directly into Azita Haka's home unless there was some huge emergency, and that never happened, so...
No, not until, a little bit later.
Rasha, would never have anyone teleport directly into Azita. That's what, yes, but I said... So they teleport there. Those who have not yet passed it have to answer
the riddle of the Sphinx.
The Sphinx, yeah.
Because there's a Sphinx that guards the lair. Ragnar had been here before a long time ago because Anton's nephew, Cyril, along with Ragnar, Moro, Aaliyah, and Jin, as well as Aaliyah's sister.
Anton is so cool, too.
Damn right. They saved Azita Haka's life a long time ago.
That's the player of Anton and Cyril?
Yes.
By the way.
From Laut.
Commenting.
And thwarted Erwin's forces from attaining an ancient artifact called the Caduceus. When you guys get through the riddle of the Sphinx, you already know it, they let you pass. Ragnar knows it from before. Other people
had
pass it easily. They are allowed into the Azita Haka's chamber. And Azita Haka is happy to see them all.
Rasha's like...
And will hear out Tirlan's request.
Hi. I'm back. And she, she says... I brought your brother. I don't remember what I said specifically, but...
No, it doesn't. I mean, yeah. You guys see him,
And Tirlan talks to him. The rest of them... I think probably Anton is the one that talks. No, Rasha. Tirlan is pretty much the one that talks about, because he's the one that's asking of things.
Anton and Argoth also chip in.
Azita Haka readily agrees to aid against the Illithid invasion. He offers... This is when... Rob wasn't here, but Ragnar was, because Rob said he wouldn't take an item because he didn't actually play through this. Anyways, Azita Haka offers them an item from his hoard, and not just an item. He offers them an artifact, that's a big deal. And because Ragnar didn't get the crown from here, right? He got it from somewhere else, I thought.
Yeah, he got something else.
Elsewhere.
It's Anton that got the crown from here.
Well, no, Ragnar had some kind of crown from elsewhere.
It was held, not a crown, but yeah.
Whatever. It was a thing that went on his head.
It's different, though.
Yes, but it's a thing that went on his head, which is how it was filed in my head. Anton got a really cool hat.
Crowned.
He got a really cool hat that gave him some really cool bonuses. However, he also couldn't lie.
Anymore at all?
Which that led to some things later.
You must always speak the truth.
I'm like, Anton, stop talking, please. Oh my gosh.
It was BA. All of you got really cool artifacts.
Yeah, Rasha got this very cool amulet of Bahamut, which gave healing powers.
And resurrection powers.
And even up to resurrection. Like, she could heal other people with it if she wanted to, or just wear it, and then when she went down, it would immediately start healing her, like, automatically. So it would be really hard for her to die. I don't think she ever used it, maybe, like, once on someone else. That's, anyway, you know, it's fine. Yeah, Ragnar's helm was from somewhere else. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I remember where that's from. We'll get to that later. In a different session.
Weren't there.
No, that's what I mean. It'll be later.
Yeah, you know, he found it.
Yeah.
A crown is a hat. Yes, it is.
So while they are going through looking through his hoard for these items.
But yeah, also.
Azita Haka speaks of how he remembers throwing the Illithid off of this world before in the past with the help of the Iborians and the other, not all, but other firstborn dragons. He and Tirlon speak some more, and though he does agree to help get rid of the Illithid, he's not eager to end the Treaty of Fire or return Tirlon's memories. In fact, he states to Tirlon that he should learn this world as it is and create new memories now. This is his second chance.
Mm-hmm.
But he does agree to return to the Dragon Isles to help end the Civil War, as they must be shown how to engage each other through diplomacy and why the dragons no longer war. That's also the reason he doesn't wish to destroy the Treaty of Fire, for it will bring the First Flight to each other's throat, as is evident by Laufwir, Mordegal, Subura, and Cilia, the four very evil dragons, firstborn dragons. He states that they will not rest until we're all slaughtered if the Treaty of Fire is broken. So the treaty must stand so the rest of them do not fall to their tyranny. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
he also warns that, so there's a finding items, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it goes, oh, this item's like, that's fine. And then it's like, so long as you don't use the items for evil, you may have them in your quest. If you use them for evil, he would find you and smite you with righteous fury.
He's a paladin. A dragon paladin of Bahamut.
Yep. Half gold, half red. BA.
He's so pretty. Oh my gosh.
You guys are also here for a few days.
Yeah, but it's also at this time that something else happens. After the discussion with Tirlon is done and the others are looking at the hoard and stuff. Azita, or even, well, they're still paying attention at this point. But Azita Haka directs his attention back to Rasha again.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
No, it's your voice. You probably remember this better than I do.
I don't remember what he said, but
well,
I know that he approached it in a way of like he doesn't have a champion. He hasn't had a champion for a very long time. And he knows no one better to ask than you, wielder of Desert Wind. You, the Desert Wind. Mm-hmm. You have trained. You've gone through the trials. Things you didn't even know, he tells you. And then he, like, does something. I forgot what he did, though, exactly.
Well, I mean, I don't know if we
Oh, no, he
specified
gave
that.
you a
He
scale.
gave me a scale.
Yes, he gave you a scale, which is the recognition of most of the firstborn, is to give them a scale that their champion turns it into something or has an item created from it. Which
So he gives me a
do
scale,
later.
which you think about. A scale of this size dragon is
very large.
it's big. However, he pulls it off of him, and it's one of the scales from like right about here where the color is shifting from red to gold, so it's like both colors. It's super pretty. Because I said that's where I wanted the scale. Avital said that's where she wanted the scale to be from. And he hands it to her, and then I don't know, it's magical, and he hands it to her, and it like shrinks down. So she can put it away. Because obviously, at right that second, she can't do anything with it. However, she does know some crafters, specifically.
And you currently have a little time to figure things out.
But yeah.
You guys do stay here for some days.
Yeah, we stay here for a couple days. So, at this point, when Zidahaka bestows the honor of being his champion upon Rasha, if the others are looking at her and paying attention at that exact moment, they watch as her eyes, which were dark brown,
kind of regular human eyes.
Regular, the color eyes you would expect from someone
of the region.
They change to resemble Azidahaka's eyes, which are
dragon eyes.
Yeah, dragon eyes, and they are like golden with the red fiery flecks, and then the dragon-like pupil, which is more like a cat, like a lizard.
It's like a diamond. Or more like a slitted, like a elongated diamond.
3 days, I believe. That sounds right.
I think that is correct. I believe it was 3 days.
So, over the next couple days, Rasha talks a bit more with Azidahaka about, what that entails and the new powers that she has gained, because she gains a whole bunch of other things. Some really, really, really cool stuff that she does some really cool stuff with later.
Totally. So what happens when you become a champion of a dragon? You're able to spend destiny points if you have destiny points in your character, and then you can purchase abilities that these dragons have. So what I would do is go, okay, red, gold, ancient worm, and just the dragon abilities. All right, let's negotiate and say, what thing do you want and how often do you want to do it? Okay, this is this many destiny points, up to 15 to 30 destiny points, depending upon what it is.
50.
Yeah.
Total.
And so she gained some sight, and
I got dark vision super far. I got natural armor. Or no, that was from the
bracers that you
make
later.
Them later. But I got the subtype fire.
The fire subtype,
which means she's immune to fire entirely.
You don't have to buy that. That just happens. That's part of the thing. That's
automatic.
Whatever dragon elemental subtype it is.
You're that now, right? Whatever. Which meant cold hurts me more.
Yeah. Which also comes up later.
It does. I gained... I don't know if I actually used this in play, once, but I gained the breath weapon of an ancient dragon 3 times a day. 3 times a day. And there may have been some other smaller things, but the biggest and most important thing that I gained is, what's it called?
Miracle.
That's not what it's called, but it's the thing where the gold dragons can call on Bahamut, essentially. And it is essentially kind of like a miracle. And
I think it's called Divine Aid. Or
Divine
Aid,
like that's the word. Thank you. Yes.
But
Divine Aid.
It works exactly like Miracle.
Like a miracle.
The spell.
And this was something that Rasha could do this once a week, which
is not that often,
but still a lot considering how powerful this has the potential to be. And later, Rasha does use it in some really, really big situations. It matters a lot in
and
the
in
story.
very keen ways. It does.
It makes me so happy. Like
Which is good. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic. Like, when those things happen, I was just really glad that I was actually able to utilize it in such a way, even though there were, like, some of the things, the powers that I gained from that never really,
That's it.
not quite, never really, forgotten, yeah, there we go. There's the Temple of the Sky, guys. Why isn't there? Never really got to use, but that I did, and it was the most important thing. During those 3 days that they are there, all of a sudden, someone shows up, teleports right into the middle of where they all are, with a Zitahaka in his horde. And it is Alexander and his dragon.
Zirdenth. Z, who's a rush dragon, sitting on a horde of metal, who starts melting the metal.
A Zitahaka is like, get off of there right now!
That's rude.
and Z's just like, huh? And gets off, right? And Zitahaka's like, how did you get here? And and Alexander's like, I was just teleported here, because this Alexander was done with his quest and
For Babaga.
talked to Redding to see where his friends were.
Because he had taken what Babaga had finished back to Nabiez for her. And she's a druid, she can, world wave or whatever, through the earth, teleport in there. Not teleport, it's sort of a different function, but it works the same way. Get him there, like, oh, your friends came and we're looking for you. Take these things back to the Archdruid, to Wadna. Goes back there, is like, hey, Redding buddy, I gotta go to this place. He's like, okay.
So
they're
Redding
here.
is like, oh, they're here,
There you go.
and sends them there.
Because Redding's awesome.
I'm not sure who sends a message.
Miles,
Anton, maybe?
Redding Blackwood.
Someone, yeah. Anton sends a message to Redding because Zitahaka's like, you've never,
You don't just pop in on a dragon.
someone here again.
Especially
And,
send a
and Redding
rush dragon on
sends
their
back,
horde.
well, tell him he should have better defenses. And that's it.
Anton doesn't bother saying that back to Zitahaka.
Anton's just
It's
like,
like, mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can't lie anymore.
However,
Can't lie anymore, Kevin. Can't lie anymore.
Zitahaka is not, like, extraordinarily mad at Z.
No, he's just like,
or
hey,
anything.
that's my stuff.
In the next day or two that they remain there, he does provide some metal for Z to eat. Now here you go, little cousin.
Yeah.
Little cousin.
Like, don't eat my horde.
Here's
Eat
some
this
stuff you
stuff.
can't eat. Take this. It's fine. Go ahead. You poor thing, because rust dragons are not the smartest.
So this is also the Temple of the Sky. This is not a bad place to end either.
No, we're going to.
The Temple of the Sky is also where Razim, the Friti that you had to fight, this is where he was freed from.
Yep.
And this is where Ragnar and Cyril and those guys accidentally freed him before. Really, it was actually Moro's fault. Because he didn't make the illusion save. So
Whatever happens, happens, man.
all this story that happened many years ago is kind of wrapped up here in this moment with what happens now.
It's great. It's connected, and Ragnar's back. Cyril's not, but his uncle is.
And Azutaka recognizes Ragnar.
The best part of that crown is the fact that you can't lie. Sure it is. There were times Rush is just like, stop talking, Anton. Oh my gosh.
It's great. It ended up being very good.
Multiple times. But so they're there for about 3 days. They've all got really cool artifacts. I don't remember what anyone else got. It doesn't matter. And they discuss, of course, where's the next best place to go. What is more the thought of, let us reach the dragons that we have easier access to. And so they think of their friend Jenya,
Who's in Nihura?
who's in Nahura and is the champion of the Radiant Dragon. And so
Anton contacts him.
Anton contacts him.
And
Or
we
Anton
can-
actually contacts him
Yeah, we can.
after they teleport. I know, I'm about to end. And they decide that Nahura will be the next place that they go and talk to Jenya and try and talk to the Radiant Dragon. So yeah, Rasha is now the champion of Azita Haka and has gained some really, really, really cool powers. Like, really intensely cool.
Each dragon champion does.
It's so cool. RP is the reason to play. That's right.
Absolutely, 100%.
That's right.
And like the only reason to play.
Yeah, there are people that enjoy like a grindy sort of dungeon crawl. I am not those people.
I mean, the mechanics are fun, and they're there to be used when they're necessary.
Right,
When
and
you have
like
to decide things
I've
that
done
way.
cool things in battle, in turns, in rounds, you know, with my sheet and everything, but
The story is what makes it great.
the story is why like that stuff is cool to me, right? Like that's why it matters. I know. Well, about to stop. Yeah. Anyways, that's where we're gonna leave off today. Thanks for showing up and hanging out. It's been lovely, absolutely lovely, and we'll see you all next week around the same time, 5 or 5:30 Eastern. You know, who knows? And I'll be streaming Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. More knitting. It's exciting. It's very exciting. But yeah. Have a great evening or day or whenever you happen to be watching this, whenever I post it on YouTube. And we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!